Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, depending on where you're dialing into from wherever and what time zone you are from around the world. I'm Paul Finkelstein at OMG Talk.com, the small business owner and guest podcast and professional. If you have a message that you'd like to share, I'd love to feature you and cram your entire life into 15 minutes. And I even have a certificate here that I can give you and pass through the camera. Today, we have a special guest enjoying a very special day. It happens to be her birthday, and her name is Tonette Blum. How are you today, Tonette? And happy birthday.
Thank you. I am fabulous.
I would think that you cannot be any better. Any better, you'd be having twins.
Hey, right? I actually am having a grand son on August the 1st. So, yeah,
Well,
actually.
congratulations on that. Also, there's more than one win or success going on today on Friday, June 4th, 2021. So let's start off with our first question, learn about you. Our first question, you could probably say a lot better than I can. I know sometimes in podcasts, they have a nice introduction, or when you deliver a speech somewhere, it's always nice when a speaker is introduced with an introduction line, maybe one line that says a little bit of background about the person. In this particular circumstance, the four questions are draws out the personality and captures your entire life into 15 minutes. And I think it'll do it justice just with the questions alone. So this first question is, what exactly do you do, Tonette, and how long have you been doing it?
So, what I do is I help busy people really get their optimal health in a simple way of just taking something in the morning, something in the evening, and helping them to provide optimal health. I've actually been with this company for about 5 years, but I've been in the nutrition business for at least 13 years, even before I came to the company that I work for.
Excellent. And sometimes I never know if someone's going to keep going or they have some more dialogue. And I love when you get right to the point and then it ends, and then I don't have to actually interrupt the interviewee in the middle
Right?
of what they're saying. I never, that perfect segue when a DJ is switching music and where to stop and start. So why don't you share with us two of your favorite success stories that you're proud of? It could be business or personal. I know you must have. You weren't born yesterday, not last night, certainly. Judging by the size of you, you look more than 6 pounds, 1 ounces, or whoever you're born when you were born, how much you weighed then. So tell us two success stories that you're proud of.
Well, the first success story is a personal success story. I'm married now and I have five girls, but I gave birth to two of them. My youngest daughter, she is 25, she's going to be 26, and my oldest is 30. And the greatest success was raising them, which I did for more than 17 years as a single parent. Um, and what happened was a few years ago, I think it's probably been about 4 years ago, both of them graduated the same year. My youngest graduated from Howard University with her degree in business law, and she graduated magna cum laude. Then my oldest daughter, who's now 30, she graduated from Laverne University with her MBA. And as they were getting their degree, I had a almost like an epiphany of when they were little and the struggle that I went through raising those two daughters, trying to encourage them to be the best that they can be. And seeing them get their degree was one of my greatest joy. I mean, I realized they're the ones that did the work. They did the studying, they focused. But I remember putting them in private school and really not allowing them to watch TV during the day and saying, hey, no, you got to get your homework done, and then being able to see that. The other thing that I'm most proud of, accomplishment, has to do with the business that I'm in right now in terms of nutrition. What happened was I had a cousin of mine who lived in Texas. She had been seeing my post about the company and the product, and she said to me, you know what, cousin, I really need some help. I'd like to be able to lose some weight. And I showed her exactly the steps. I told my cousin, I said, listen, you got to make sure you follow exactly what I'm asking you to do. Don't deviate. Follow these proven steps of success. She did, and she lost the weight. And she posted something and said, oh my gosh, I got my sexy back. And I loved it because now she said she feels so much better. So both of those accomplishments made me feel really good.
I love when a business person could put the word sexy into their words and make it come out so positive and inspiring and clean. Of course, you know what the sexiest curve on your body is your smile.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's true.
Let's segue right away to, you know how a drill sergeant or maybe in a family, a parent motivates their children, or the drill sergeant says, drop and give me 20 push-ups. It's not really a lot there. It says, just drop, just do it. Maybe, I don't know if that's motivating or instructing or telling to do something. But what motivates you, Tonette, to jump out of bed every day?
Oh, wow.
And do
That's
you
a
make your bed?
actually, I don't, because I'm my husband and I, we made a rule that the last person who gets out of bed is the one that makes the bed. So I typically get up at about 5:30, 6 a.m. and do a walk with my daughters. So sometimes though, as a business owner and someone who has to be motivated, sometimes it's very difficult to be able to do that. Sometimes I have days like that, right? But what motivates me is all of the people in the lives that I get an opportunity to touch. In my office, I have a vision board. And typically, what I do is after I get up and walk with my daughter, I spend some time just sitting at my desk, really staring at that vision board. And it really does focus me to what my commitments are, whether it be professionally or business. Personally, I look at that vision board and I think to myself, this is actually my sixth vision board. I've done six different ones. And every time it really does help channel me to what my action and activity needs to be for the day. So that's what motivates me.
How big is this vision board? Is it a giant cork board, or is it one of those small little whiteboards that are like this big and you just tack it somewhere?
No, it's actually pretty big. It's a regular, as I'm looking over to the side, it is a regular poster board. And what I do is on it, I have pictures and images of what my goals are. And then I have positive words as well. And what I noticed with the vision board that I have, a few of those things have already been crossed off, but it actually helps to put me in a real positive mood. So I'm very big on that. And I actually have my daughters doing the same thing in terms of them setting their own sights on what their steps are. It really does help motivate us.
So a poster board is 16 by 20, so people could picture the size of
Okay,
what you
yeah.
have hanging up there. 16 by 20 inches, I guess, is considered a poster.
Mhm.
When did you get your passion in life? Did you know your purpose, what you'd be doing now, when you were early on, maybe 5 years old, 10 years old? Or was there several career moves along the way, or a pandemic born type of a business? When did you get your purpose in life?
That's such a great question. And since this is only 15 minutes, I probably won't say everything, but I really remember there were several different pinnacle of moments in my life that actually changed and shaped who I was. But when it came to nutrition, it was it was a few years ago after I had started working for this company. What happened was I had a classmate who suddenly passed away from a heart attack, and he's my age. And I realized at that time about how life and how important life is. And when we hear people say your health is your wealth, for me, when that occurred, I saw myself. I saw myself in him. I saw what the possibility was. And even though in my past career moves, it was about fragrance, it's about makeup, skincare, jewelry, all of those things were things that I did before. But when I saw him and I had that experience, it really changed how I looked at life. And I thought to myself that my mission is to be able to help people with their internal health. I mean, it's really my calling, my purpose. And every day I get up with that in mind, saying, you know what? I got to be able to do better. And I have to be able to do it no matter what. Even on those days when I don't really feel like it, it's not about my feelings. It's about the people that I get an opportunity to meet and to change their lives as well. And it really does feel good when you can feel like you're living your purpose.
I can understand completely when you mentioned that health is your wealth and all these things. And I had my mom had passed from ovarian cancer. It made me think, if you know people that are specialists in the ovarian cancer uh, studies, and they, or somebody that's knows a lot about ovarian cancer, I probably should request to interview them on my podcast and have a nice resource for people that might be going through something like that. And if you know
Mhm.
anybody like that, please send them my way. You know my email from now, how you got on this podcast, or wow at omgtalk.com. This is the fast way to reach me. Let's see what else. I think at this point, I have to give you a certificate on how I crammed your entire life into 15 minutes. I think I did a pretty good job there to
Awesome job.
get an early age to now, especially on your birthday. So here's your certificate for letting me cram your whole life into 15 minutes. Here you go. You can take
Okay,
it on your
right.
end.
And let's see here. Let me do the camera. I receive it.
And just like a better than a fax. And if somebody had any last, if you had any last thoughts, or I know 15 minutes isn't fair, if you wanted someone to reach out to you and get more than 15 minutes, how would you want them to reach out to you? Maybe say your phone number twice and slow, or if you don't feel comfortable with that, if you want them to look you up on LinkedIn, or if you have a domain that links to a Blitzer profile like I do, or any other methods to reach out to you.
Well, there's a couple of ways you can reach out to me. The first one is that you can email me at tonette.blum@gmail. So that's TONETTE dot Blum, BLUM, at gmail.com. Again, Tonette Blum, TONETTE dot Blum at gmail.com. Also, I have a Facebook page, so you can also send me a message through Facebook Messenger. That'll give an opportunity for us to be able to connect. I usually am on my Facebook quite a bit, and you can be able to catch me there. The last one, I have Instagram profile as well at T Blum Loves Fit Line. I know, right? T Blum, and then Love LOVES Fit Line FITLINE, and that's my Instagram. So you can be able to reach out in both of those messages, both of those methods.
I'm wondering if I saw you on Instagram or not. It's starting to sound familiar, but I'm
Mhm.
on there too. You could find the Instagram at online meet and greet, I think is the user ID for Instagram.
Right, right. But Facebook Messenger is a great way to connect initially, and then certainly if they are interested in learning more about the nutrition products that I talked about, that is a great way to be able to connect with me.
Any other last thoughts or workshops, programs, words of wisdom, inspiration on your birthday that you like to share before I wrap up?
One last thing, I think, and that is something I tell my children all the time, and I think it's important, and that is to mind your mind. That's a powerful thing because our mind can tell us what we can do, and it can tell us what we can't do. And what I encourage people to do is to control the narrative in terms of what your thinking is. So mind your mind and say to yourself, I am successful. I can do things. And you will be amazed at how your action and activity actually dictate that. And I do hope in parting that I get an opportunity to meet with your listeners to kind of share and exchange thoughts and share with them how I can help them with their optimal health as well.
I'll share something interesting. One of my viewers and podcast guests had found something on Google, and it was something called Listen This or something like that, like a podcast metrics tool that
Mm.
tells you where your rankings are for your podcast. And it said out of 2.4 million podcasts, my podcast at OMG Talk Show ranked in the top 10% globally.
Wow.
I don't know what those metrics mean, but I think it means that out of 2.4 million podcasts, I must be one of the more active podcasts, as every week or at least several times a month, I have new guests on my show that are small business owners, professionals, or entrepreneurs, which are all people that inspire me to continue, and they're all from all different walks of life. If they get too close in, say, competitors, for the nature of, say, one of my compliance departments, I make it an unlisted link so that they can still use it, but just doesn't show on my YouTube. And I try to make everybody a win-win, if you will. So today we've been listening to Tonette Blum on her birthday. She told us what she does and how long she's been doing it. She gave us two of her favorite success stories that she's proud of, and you could go back and re-listen to those. She told us what motivates herself to jump out of bed every day, and if she makes her bed, that could be interesting to replay that as well. And then she told us when she got her purpose and passion in life, and the best way to reach out to her, since we know that 15 minutes is too short to cram somebody's life in, even though she did get a certificate. And if you want to reach out, her contact information, email, etc., is in here. I assume you're also on LinkedIn as well.
I am. I am. You can be able to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as Instagram. And again, it's Tonette Blum. That's all you have to type in, and you'll find me, BLUM.
Excellent. And look forward to seeing you also on the Blitzer platform, or if you ever been to a Toastmaster meeting, have you?
Yes, I have. I actually did completed several of the speeches through Toastmasters as well.
Excellent. Did you actually go when it was Pathways or when it was the Legacy program and it was called Competitive Competent Communicator was one manual?
Yes. That was when I did it, and I am really watching exactly what I'm saying so that way I learned my lessons when it came to Toastmasters. I love Toastmasters.
I think my biggest tip from Toastmasters was vocal variety, and
Mhm.
that I tend to be more introverted, and I have to remind myself to be a little bit outroverted and more. The word I'm looking for is enthusiasm. I tended to have the enthusiasm maybe at the beginning, if that, and less so at the end of the speech. And I think that to get that engagement throughout your entire speech and make things excited is the part that I just have to continually remind myself. Maybe other people out there are like that as well. But of course, you're taking those vitamins or liquid refreshments or healthy stuff that probably you don't need any more coffee throughout your day. So thanks for being here, Tony. And
Thank you.
stick around after the show. And everybody have a great Friday here on June 4, 2021 at OMG Talk Show.
Thank you.